Wow. Yeah. Live. We live.
Saturday Night Live, baby. hmm
Right.
Yeah, Saturday Night Lights. Or Saturday Night Darkness. Yeah, it's we made it another week.
Right.
Yeah, through
So
all this.
anything crazy happened in the week for you?
Oh, man. Yeah, always, man. I mean, crazy markets, uh, crazy, the geopolitical turmoil in the world, everything. Just, I mean, the way everything is shifting right now. It's a great time to be alive right now because anything's possible at this time.
Right.
I mean, anything's possible. And what's here today could be gone tomorrow, just like that.
Right.
But right now, there's a lot of opportunity that's presenting itself for those who are in the know or want to be in the know. With the shift that's happening with monetary rates, with the Fed tightening up on interest rates and balancing their balance sheet, this is going to cause a major shift and rift in the economy and the markets. And if you're in the right place at the right time, you can make a lot of money. You can build, I wouldn't call it wealth because it's all fiat currency. And you and I, we were talking about that earlier today. I mean, the fiat currency is really worthless. It's monopoly money. However, right now, the game is real simple. The central banks, they're printing this fiat currency. They're taking this fiat currency. They're buying oil. They're buying gold. They're buying hard assets with this monopoly money that's pretty much counterfeit. And it's almost, I mean, it's the greatest scam in the world. You have your own little printing press. You can print your own money, and you can take this shit and go buy gold with it, and go buy oil, go buy airplanes, go buy a military. I mean, that shit. Who wouldn't want to give that shit up? Would you?
Right. Yeah. I think is a lot. It's a lot more behind it. Except I mean, based on the whole monetary system, American monetary system. Not only American interest benefits off that, you got foreign interest that benefits off the American economy continuing to appear to be viable. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that used to be the case, but that's even changing now, especially with this war that's happening with in the Ukraine with Russia and the Ukrainians. How we are attacking Russia financially, we're doing just as much damage to them as they're economically and financially to their people as the Russian military is doing to the people in Ukraine. All right,
Well, I don't. I I by understanding Russia and how Russia
mm-hmm,
works,
mm-hmm.
I don't think America's sanctions have that much say so over Russia's affairs.
Well, um, um, if you're an oligarch, a Russian oligarch, and
Uh,
your $150 million yacht just got confiscated, or motherfuckers telling you they're not gonna put no gas in it, you feeling it. You're feeling that shit. And if you just your $1 billion bank account just got frozen, you
right.
feeling that shit. And then the Russian people, they're feeling it too because
No, I
their
think I think
ruble, their
they're I think
currency.
they're gonna I think they're gonna feel it. Why? Because the debt currency on deck on the global scale is still the dollar, even though it's falling from that position slowly but surely, gradually falling from that position as being the number one exchange currency.
Well, what we're doing, how we're freezing assets of other countries, taking their money, is making other countries say, "Whoa, shit, get back, Jack." If they do that to them, what if they wake up tomorrow and feel the same way about us? They
But
can do the
guess
same
what?
thing to us.
Guess what? What these countries have foresight. They're not going to just allow that type of manipulation to continue on. They're going to set up mechanisms to prevent that stuff from happening eventually.
Well,
now, Americans have used sanctions
mm-hmm.
for years. You think countries are not aware of that by now? Like, okay, we're going to set up something to where that doesn't affect our country anymore.
Well, of course, absolutely. If I'm a dictator and I'm going to war, if I'm doing some shit like that, and I know that I'm dealing with an adversary that has nothing else better to do than just do sanctions, because military, if we go head up, we both can blow each other into oblivion. So you better come up with something else. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But this is one hell of a monopoly game they're playing, man. Hell of a monopoly game. But like I was saying, though,
it's at the stake of humanity, if you ask me.
Yeah, but you wanna make these fiat currencies you want to get as many as these, as fast as you can, and turn that shit into something of some type of value and worth. Like, assets like real estate, property, gold, silver, platinum, palladium.
That real estate, that real estate thing is very. I mean, at this point, right now, people are reevaluating how they're holding property now. Right.
Well, I'm talking about real estate real estate land that you can build on and you can grow, and you want to be there permanently, someplace strategic.
No, my point is, because I'm not going against what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
In real estate now,
mm-hmm.
we're coming to realize that the real estate game is also a game where, if you're not aware of the nuances,
you're gonna
get messed over in the.
Man, I watched the housing bust. Okay, I was calling the housing bust back in 2006. Man, they had housing futures back in 2006 in preparation of that. All right. Okay, I was.
That they were predatorily playing off the ignorance of the people around that time when they giving these predatory loans, and they were giving people, because they knew that the banks knew that the people were going to fall into debt, do some irresponsible stuff. They bought these,
and they'll get their homes from them.
Yeah,
they'll lose their homes. They'll take them.
Not only do they not get all their assets, but they
knew the Feds were going to hike interest rates. The Fed knew they were going to hike interest rates. This shit was all planned out. This shit been planned out for
2008 when the economy crashed in 2008, right?
Mm-hmm.
If people follow the background story of why that economic collapse happened, you would see that they knew at least 10 years ahead of time.
Well, first of all, you had to have lived through the tech boom and the tech bust.
Well, that's crazy, because you're right. I
was a commodities broker. I ushered that shit coming in. I saw that shit coming in too.
The tech bust happened late 90s.
No, that was 2000. That was okay. The way the tech bust happened.
It was 2000 and 2000, and it was
2000. Well, it began in 99. It began in 99 when Fed Chairman Alan Greenspan,
and it came to a head in 2000.
Alan Greenspan started hiking interest rates. Right. He started hiking interest rates. Short-term interest rates.
It came to a head. around.
Yeah, he hiked interest rates from June of '99 all the way to May of 2000. All right, he hiked interest rates pretty substantially, and because he was telling everybody, this tech boom, they were trying to say the Federal Reserve don't have no control over this. This is the new economy. Everybody was a genius and everything. He said this shit is over. This is irrational exuberance. It's unsustainable. I'm killing you motherfuckers. I'm hiking interest rates. I'm strangling this bitch. And he did. And the smart money went into the treasury bonds that year. And everybody got killed in the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the Dow. And then they had that phony election that year.
No one with financial savvy falls for this up and down economy that like the economic like the technology bubble was, right?
Okay, but let me tell you something else.
An up and down of the economies, right? And people know how to take advantage of people who are financially savvy. They can take advantage of these fluctuations, but they don't get totally involved. You're ignorant to get totally embraced when you put all your money or put so much amount of assets that it affects your portfolio at that level.
Okay, all right. Now, you got a good point, but let me take you back before the tech boom. Let me take you back to 97 and 98. 97 and 98, we had what was called the Russian flu crisis. Yes. The Russian banks defaulted, and that sent ripples around the economies and stock markets all around the world. Our economy was real good. We were strong because we were in that tech boom. But Alan Greenspan wanted to protect us from any effects of what was going on in Russia, because they were defaulting, and that shit was sending shockwaves in stock markets all around the world. The bond market made all-time highs. Interest rates dropped like a rock. The Fed had to come out and cut interest rates 3 times in one fucking week, dude, because of Russia in 1998. All right, in October of 1998. A lot of these people in Wall Street now were little babies then, okay? They don't know about that shit. And Russia almost defaulted last week. They just barely made it. Now, if they would have defaulted, this shit would have happened all over again. And a lot of people don't know about that shit or don't remember. Only the old school people remember this shit, because the people in power now were babies then. They were either in junior high or high school, or they weren't even fucking born. Okay, so we're repeating this shit all over, but it's this shit on steroids now. We got a fucking war with it. Although we had Russia, every time when a weak Democrat come into office, Putin goes into Ukraine or Georgia or something like that. You don't do that shit when those fucking, like, someone like Trump or Bush is in office. No better to do some shit when them motherfuckers in office. Your ass will get bumped.
Did you point out any time in the history of this so-called country that it hasn't been in war?
Well, there was a period, yeah. Well, there were, in the 80s. Now we weren't occupying in the 80s.
Cold War.
Okay, there was a Cold War, but in the 80s we did not occupy nobody's country. Although we did go into we did go into Panama.
This country has been in a perpetual war state since its inception, bro.
Well, yeah, but after 1992, the shit been on.
You said what?
After 1992, the shit been on. From 91 till now, the shit been on. That's when Saddam invaded Kuwait.
Okay, but I say we have always been in a perpetual state.
Yeah, we've been in a perpetual state of war, but the shit
let's
stepped up.
examine that. Let's examine that, right? Because
But that shit stepped up in 1991 till now. Okay, in the 80s, the shit was quiet.
That's not my point. I'm getting to a whole other thing right now.
Okay, shit was quiet in the 80s, man.
I'm saying it's a fact that this country has been in a perpetual state of war ever since its inception, bro. Whether it's Cold Wars, proxy wars, they've been in a perpetual state of war. Just because it hasn't been announced, this is what has been. It is not a war that has been propagated.
Yeah, well,
mean that we have been. But my point is that a lot of people talk about how they suspended the Constitution; it doesn't apply anymore. Well, if the country
never applied to us anyway.
No, I'm not saying. I mean, of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. But my point is, if the country has been in a perpetual state of war, do you realize that would take away the power of the Constitution? Soon as it will not necessarily take away the power, because the power. The Constitution gives them the power to create an executive order.
Yeah, it becomes
not necessarily usurp it. You can't usurp it, because and when you read the details and the nuances of what
state of an emergency,
it said in a state of emergency, they can put an executive order that.
Okay, so they got loopholes within the Constitution to count.
Listen. Do you realize that they have not lifted that state of emergency yet? Now you're seeing how they're able to appear to usurp the Constitution now, right? Now we're seeing how they're making these decisions that most people were like, how are they able to make these decisions that are unconstitutional?
Because Constitution is not valid. We're in a state of war.
Executive order right now, bro.
Yeah. We've been under executive order since what? Since Lincoln got assassinated?
Right. You said my point exactly, bro. This is my point exactly. So now when you realize that, you get to understand the dynamics of why people are using the wrong approach. They're not approaching things in the proper way. Don't have a proper understanding, oversight of history to come to the conclusion of what's happening today.
Okay, I have to agree with you on that. Yeah.
If we don't got a clear understanding of what's actually has happened, we don't know what's happening.
So we both kind of explained that in our own way.
So yeah, I was just adding on to the memory of the people is fickle as hell. The people's memory is fickle. Every 10 years, it seems the narrative get changed, bro.
Yeah.
They introduce a whole new narrative that's totally contrary to the actuality of the situation.
And they make that shit true.
How do they make it true? Keep repeating the lie.
Getting you to hear the same lie over and over.
Yep, propaganda. Repeat that shit.
Yep, get you to believe. Once we believe in the lie, it becomes real.
And then not only that, they have to have a general public that is not critical thinkers.
Dumb down.
They have to create a general public who doesn't have any interest in their own mental development and what they can use to discern to make proper decisions in their life. We live in a society where most people just go. Education is based on prestige and class. It has nothing to do with your actual self-development. You actually develop.
You're just a trained seal. You're just an obedient trained seal.
You actually realizing the significance of having an understanding of things going on. based on your ability to discern for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the general public have little to no ability to discern based on true understanding of critical thinking. Epistemology. What is epistemology? Epistemology is the methodology that you go about to find out what is true or not.
Okay.
There's a methodology. Everything. Look, we have been bombarded with so many lies that.
Yeah, I'm going to say good luck with that one. I don't think anything's true. I don't think anything's true down here. I think the truth can be manipulated, can be changed here because this is an illusion anyway.
No. You're right about that. I agree with that. But there are certain
universal truths.
There are certain things that are
universal laws.
Yeah, there are certain things that on the physical level that we're all acceptable to, for on a physical level, right? Just like you said, we're acceptable to a currency. There are certain things that everyone is acceptable to.
Susceptible.
As long as we're operating in the third dimensional orientated mindset.
Oh yeah. Those are called the laws of nature.
So these are the laws that I speak to. Now, of course, we perpetuate the abilities to break those laws, right? Right. This is what we do on this show. We try to go to actually breaking those laws. Those laws don't exist to us really. But
which laws?
Which laws? In the confound, like you said, like that's why I don't get why you kept saying that. Like I didn't understand that. I know we confined to an extent when we're dealing with physical reality.
Yeah.
Right? But that's like you said, that's an illusion. So you just made my argument again as it pertains to what I was saying earlier today about this is just all these are distractions.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm talking about to the ultimate you.
Yeah. So why not have the reality that you want?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. That's the whole point, though.
Why not have the illusion you want?
The only way you can actually do magic, because you're talking about magic.
Yeah,
you're talking about magic, right?
Yeah, magic. Magic.
The way to make that happen is to defy those laws that have been we have been convinced or we're all acceptable to.
You have to come into the realization that your existence, the non-existence of your existence.
This is where you get to where you realize those laws don't even apply, and you step by them in the sense of not breaking the law necessarily, but they don't apply anymore.
Yeah, because I don't exist.
Exactly. So when you do that, when you get to that level, it's like now.
And this don't exist.
You're not looking at things the same way you were looking at prior to you getting that. You can't. It's impossible for you to see the world the same way anymore. You're not going to see it the same way. Once you realize this is an illusion, I mean, once I figured that out, I was like, what the fuck am I worried about?
Yeah, you like that nursery rhyme. Roll, roll, roll your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, merrily, merry, merry. Life is but a dream.
It was a relief, bro.
Yeah.
I was so worried about this shit. So I was like, shit. I relinquished all that. And it's a constant struggle. You go back to that shit and start worrying about this shit and all that stuff. But then you get to realize that this shit is all a fucking illusion. So why am I putting of course I want to be successful in this so-called matrix. Right?
Yeah. You want to be comfortable.
I'm not about to go about it. I'm not about to go about it in a way of convincing myself that this is real.
Yeah.
I have to bow down and submit to certain dictates of this bullshit. No, I'm not.
No,
That's not what I'm
no.
saying. I'm not about to ever do that. I'm going to make it come to me. I'm going to make it my way. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's based on, like I said, these laws don't apply. They don't apply.
Mm-hmm.
They only apply to my lower vibrational self. Not and even that can bypass it once it's clever enough.
Well, see, like again, this is a um, what we call that the holodeck on Star Trek, the simulation program called Your Life. Our life is nothing but a simulation holographic program.
Right. And it's necessary. Why? Because it's an adversary to make you sharper.
To grow.
Yeah, it's an adversary. Without an adversary or a foe, you would never grow.
Can't grow. Don't grow.
Right? And
without a foe.
Which is a high level spiritual technology, because your adversary is actually yourself.
Yeah.
Your devil is you.
My double.
And your dark side is you. Your demons is you. That is all a part. It's all.
And my angels. And my hero. My hero. My hero.
I'm gonna speak on that too. All of these.
I'm my greatest hero and my greatest enemy.
These are potentialities of your spiritual growth.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what level you on, these are all potentialities. Nothing more than that. It's not good or bad. You just putting those connotations on it. But going back into that, right? What you just said, right? Do you know in the original sense from which the culture, from which these concepts come out of, which is Greek, right? That angels and demons are undistinguishable.
Okay. Well, who did the Greeks get they?
Egyptians.
They got a small degree. They got a small degree.
Yeah, they got a small degree, but for the most part, that was a melanated civilization originally.
Yeah.
It was a melanated. Originally, yes.
Yeah, until Alexander the Great, came there.
Right. But they're heavily influenced by what I noticed in Greek cosmology and Greek philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of the real ancient science right there.
Yes, it's Typhonian.
Right. It's a lot of ancient science because they're going into the primordial world.
Yeah, it's Typhonian. Typhonian is
right. A lot of that talks about the primordial because they had a whole story in the cosmology that talks about how it was a drop of blood that got dropped in the water, and it created these dark beasts and shit that came out of the water that were going up against the motherfucking gods and shit.
Mm-hmm.
They just had a drop, and I know they was talking about the primordial substance, right? And they said a drop of this substance created these monsters that went up against the goddamn gods.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, that's okay. So that's what they talking about.
Now, are they talking about one being, two sides of one being?
No, because I don't know. It may be. I didn't go over that
because it's all one.
I didn't. Yeah, of course, you're right. But of course, I'm trying to figure
one
out
acting itself out.
Who are these demons? Are these beasts, these monsters that were?
They're all part of the one.
Exactly, of course. But
it's the one sitting down, talking to itself, sorting shit out.
Yes. Right. But that's why I said demons are actually an aspect of yourself, of your potentiality of spiritual awakening and realization, because they're going to tempt you. Your own demons are going to try to manipulate the situation. They're going to try to lower you in vibration and make you succumb to them. And you have to have the power. This is one's genius. That's why this is why a demon literally means one's genius.
Mm-hmm.
Because you figure it out dealing with these demons.
Yeah, this gene.
What are the demons?
This motherfucker is holding a Rubik's cubes to you and making you figure it out.
Right. Listen, what are the demons?
And each time you get it wrong, shit goes wrong in your life.
Look, a demon is nothing more than a manifestation of an incorrection in your thinking or your something you didn't deal with within yourself. It manifests itself.
Okay.
Emotionally, if you're not dealing with your emotional dark side, if you're not dealing with your psychological,
but how do you explain the 72?
Manifests itself into entity.
Okay, but how do you explain the 72 goetic spirits?
Say that
of
again.
Solomon. The 72.
I am explaining it.
Of the lower keys.
What was that actually saying is that Solomon is just a story that talks about your ability to control your demons.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Now those demons, I know those demons. I know each. I got all 72 names and in their description.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We must realize that these are nothing but aspects of self.
They certainly are. Some of them.
The angels too. The angels too.
Yeah. From what I understand, the lower key is more powerful than the upper key. But you need both.
I wouldn't say. Listen, this is where you see. This is where people get messed up at. There is no inferiority and superiority as it pertains to this higher level, right?
Well, you remember when you said that drop of blood?
Let me finish. What happens is that's the most potent energy.
Yeah,
it's the most potent energy.
Okay, that's what I meant.
It's the most potent. Right?
It's the most potent.
But as it pertains to trying to compare them, I wouldn't compare them. I wouldn't never necessarily compare them like that. I just utilize both of them as I see fit because it was necessary. The whole all created all of this for us to figure ourselves out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and realize that we are the all. Right? What's that? What's the purpose of realizing we're the all? Right? That is a spawn.
Well, we have to go under the illusion of separation and forget that we are.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But that's exactly what a spawn is. If you look up what spawn is, a spawn is an extension. In its true sense, would you say spawn? When you spawn something, it extends. Right? So the great mother is extending her family. The primordial mother is extending herself.
Yeah.
This is all it is. We are nothing but spawns of the primordial mother.
Yeah, like did you ever see the trailer to that Japanese new Japanese Godzilla movie called Shin Godzilla?
Mm-mm.
Got to see. In the end, he was about to spawn a whole new race out of his tail.
Yeah, that's the fifth root race they talking about.
Yeah, he was getting ready. They sprayed some shit inside of him that caused him, because he was like a nuclear reactor, and it caused him to freeze. So he froze, and he was just stood there. And in his tail, coming out of his tail with these humanoid-looking creatures. He was going to go to the next stage.
Yeah, that was the next root race in the evolution that he was trying to get. They're depicting that in this new Agents of
Yeah.
Shield show too about the Eternal movie too. How they talk about the what they call that shit, pterogenesis.
Well, they did that back in the 90s in the first X-File movie when that black substance was on the planet before the dinosaurs and the caveman, and they killed the caveman.
Right.
And then they found it later on. It killed this boy. And in the end, it was all these creatures that were that well, man, it was kind of weird. They had all these humans on this spaceship, and they were going to be hosts for these creatures to grow through.
Right. Well, that's exactly the same story that's been perpetually shown. I think that's something that's revealing itself in our collective subconscious to us. And what in the terror genesis version of it, in the whole Agents of Shield or in the Marvel universe and stuff, they talk about how this alien race actually interfered with the genetic of humanity and entered in this latent genetics. They entered in a latent genetic that will appear at a certain time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of the humans I think they had created a group of humans or something, but they all had it in them. But the humans who had the potential to integrate that genetics inside of them would get the superpowers. The ones who didn't, a lot of them would spontaneous combust or die. You know what I'm saying?
Well, okay, I get that one. We know who they're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
now on the X-File, what they were saying that man is just a host of something
bigger,
even greater, and which is the melanin. The melanin is evolving and is going to eventually evolve into something else. And man is the host that it's being cooked in. And then on what you just said is just saying that people with the calcified pineal gland, once that kundalini come up there and hit that calcified pineal gland, they're not going to Christ consciousness. They're going to hell. They're burning up.
Yeah. Spontaneous combustion.
Yeah, and the people who have access to that energy, we know who they are: the indigenous people of the planet, the indigenous melanin, people of melanin.
They've been telling it in these shows constantly. Like, you've seen that one I suggested called it was with Jamie Foxx in it. Jamie Foxx. It was called damn. The one with Jamie Foxx where they talked about Henrietta Lacks in it. Man, they went
I remember.
They went in on that movie. If you ain't seen it, man, go see that shit, bro. They went.
But I've the old black metaphysicists in the 90s talked about that a lot. In the early 2000s, Henrietta Lacks, how her genes went to space and back.
Right, but they want to see Henrietta Lacks' story is just a distraction to the real.
We're all that way.
To the real science, because they wanted to let us know the genetic or the durability of our genes and how they experiment. Of course, so you mean to tell me they just start experimenting on us and our genetics and our no,
they've been doing that for the longest. They've been experimenting.
We have evidence of them studying our genetics for years now, bro.
Well, they showed you on that.
The beginning of that.
No.
That was an attempt to lead us away from the fact that they've been doing these experiments on us for years. You gotta look at the it's a book. They wrote a whole book on this shit called
well, it wasn't that one of the things behind the Atlanta Chow.
They wrote a whole book. They wrote 2 books about it. About how
you remember
they were studying our genetics and they made a lot of breakthroughs in science by studying our genetics, bro. By studying what's in our blood.
Yeah. Who's the Dr. Richard King?
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of him?
Yes.
Yeah, he's the first black pioneer on melanin.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of the scholars that
I think he was the one who told us about how they used to have conferences every year just on melanin.
Yeah, he's the one that brought us up to date on the melanin. Dr. Richard King, the late great Dr. Richard King.
Yeah, I need to go back to like you said, we forgot more than most of these motherfuckers.
I've forgotten more things than most people learn.
I was heavily on Richard King back in the days, and I got to go back to his videos to kind of familiarize myself with the concept.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm very much familiar with him.
Oh yeah, the inner ear and all that stuff.
Yeah, he was on point. Amazing.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Dr. Africa Loyola.
Oh my God, that brother. He was
the late great Dr.
That brother, he was hitting so hard. He made me change my whole lifestyle a long time ago.
I was scared. I was scared to listen to him because I know I'm gonna be making all kind of changes.
Right. I mean, he told the truth at a level that most are not willing to accept because they indulge in that lifestyle so much. It's like, wow. And then when you just go, he just has so much overwhelming amount of evidence to back up what he was saying, though. And that's like, come on now.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that brother was assassinated too. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, yeah, him, Delbert Blair.
Assassinated. These brothers are sparking something. They have sparked something in us. And
him, it was an attempted assassination, or that motherfucker was just ate too much of the wrong shit.
Right. C. Freeman L too. C. Freeman L.
I
think they assassinated that brother too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the great thing about that is that these brothers are on the other side. Their energy is on the other side, and their currency.
Yeah, that's even worse for the system. You're right.
Yeah, and I'm kind of pissed off that I hate to say this, but I almost kind of wish it would have went on to the other side because that would have been some hell of an energy, but it would have been kind of hard for us at that time. But man, if he would have made the transition, that would have been a hell of a strong current. But he's still a strong current while he's here anyway, whether he's here or not.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Bobby has made the transition, if you ask me. He's no longer here. He's no longer here in this dimension that we in, bro.
Well, the Bobby that we once know.
Literally, he's no more. He's no
more. Well, if he has, then that's a great thing. Believe it or not, that's a very very powerful thing.
That I really feel that he has transitioned to the spirit realm. He's there. He's in a whole nother realm now. He's not here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I mean,
last updates is the brother was he had suffered a seizure and he really doesn't have the motor skill that he had prior to the seizure. So
yeah, well then in that case he's been gone.
Exactly, that's my point.
Yeah, he's been gone. Yeah, that's just the shell. That's just he just decided to let that stick around so we won't go crazy. But I think now we can handle that, and because we're mature now.
I mean, he done his job. I don't know what the
he did his job.
He did his mate. I mean, to me, Why is it? He is key because of of fulfilling what's going to happen. He's key in the fulfillment of what's going to happen because he sparked a brother like myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And ain't nobody on this planet on the level of thinking and that I'm on. So the
Yeah, he
stuff that
sparked my
Bobby Hemmings,
ass too.
I'm not saying I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just saying I've
I
been
know.
through multiple. I started off as a kid, always curious, and I have never fallen into the program totally. Never, ever since I was a kid.
Yeah,
Never.
yeah, same.
I was always questioning shit from day fucking one, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Hemmett was meant to come for a brother like myself. That's what he said.
Yep. Yep. For
That,
me, same here too, man.
you know what I'm saying?
Shit.
So,
Same
because
here.
he kind of completed my whole, you know what I'm saying?
But
One
see,
360 degrees of because what happened was I had went through so many schools of thought, right?
mm-hmm.
And when I got introduced to Bobby, I was already on some high shit, nigga. I was right.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
already on some
You
high
have to be. You
shit.
have to already be on some high shit to be introduced to that motherfucker.
Right,
To
but when
be
I got
able.
introduced to Bobby, I was like, "Oh, they're so okay. Oh, yes, yes,
Yep.
everything."
Hell yeah.
They're like everything that I was thinking.
That motherfucker personified that shit.
He confirmed the shit. I was like, "Yes, hell yeah."
Yep.
And another thing that made me important about him was the fact that he was like not restricted minded like the rest of these teachers. He wasn't restricted to nothing except the mystery, and he will strictly give you the mystery, and he will even go through it. He will even the thing about it, he was honest
Yeah.
about his own journey.
I'm
That's another thing
surprised
that I'm like,
that he
okay,
made it as far as he did.
right.
But he used to get up there and say, "I dare motherfuckers." He said, "The government don't want to fuck with me."
Yeah, they don't. They know
He
because
said,
once we realize our power, they know that it's not that cut and dry to come. You know what I'm saying? Because
"Yeah,
these ones have ascended to a level where you can't threaten them with death, and that will be a deterrent.
yeah." He
You can't
he
threaten them
said,
with
he used to feel lonely because they wouldn't come fuck. They'd be fucking with everybody else but him.
right,
He said he used to get lonely.
right,
Why they ain't fucking with me? Shit.
right.
Why they gotta go fuck with them? Come fuck with me. I want you to fuck with me. Shit, let's go to war. Let's see what this shit can do.
Right. I think they've made attempts. They know about me, but they ain't not fucking around though, because they already know what it is. They already know what the fuck it is. I think they know what the fuck it is already, and they if they do come at us, they're gonna proceed with caution like a motherfucker, man.
Hey, I'm not afraid of the whole world ending because I already seen that happen, and I've seen the world end, and where we go after that happens, we get caught up in Saturn. We're like a ball, a sphere of consciousness caught up in the rings of Saturn, and then from there we can become another planet again, and our
Well, I'm very,
souls.
very interested. I'm very interested on what's going to happen as it pertains to latent DNA that's going to come online, as it pertains to this, you know what I'm saying, this mechanism within us. It's a mechanism within us that shuts on when we in an end time event. And I
And it
want
won't make
to
no
shut on.
difference if this motherfucker get blown to hell.
Listen,
We'll bring it back.
comet. Imagine a
We'll
big
bring
ass
this
comet
motherfucker back.
imagine a big ass comet that's total destruction to this planet right now. Right now, right?
Uh-huh.
Most people are stuck on their lower vibrational self where they're sub-emotional planes, or they're gonna be just emotional, panic, emotional, right? me, I'm gonna be like, damn, this is
I'm
it.
gonna be this
Yeah!
is it. I'm like that. I'm like that kid when you get at the top of the hill on the Colossus and you get ready to, and you're looking down. You get ready to go down that big ass drop.
Right,
That's me.
right, right, right.
I'm ready. Let's go.
What's gonna turn on? Something's
Yeah.
gonna turn on as soon as that. It's gonna be something turn on inside of us. That's
Oh, a whole lot of shit's gonna because
gonna turn on, and it's gonna be something totally different, bro.
yeah, because down here right now, a whole lot of shit is turned off. Just for us to be able to be here, a whole lot of other shit got to be off.
It's turned off in what Phil Valentine's called light lockdown, right? Because we're locked down.
Oh, light cold lockdown?
Yep. Light cold lockdown. We're locked down to the ideas, the concepts, what they've given us all these years. Now at this point, the fucking the prison is destroyed. There is no prison anymore. They destroyed the prison years ago of your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, Bobby Hemmett said when you compress melanin too long, it becomes more powerful than the container it's in.
Ooh. And guess what? The destruction that comes from that, wow, it's overwhelming, bro.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna obliterate.
I think what's really gonna destroy this planet is gonna be us.
It's gonna return everything back to its essence.
No, literally. This motherfucker is going to be no more. Our souls are going to collect
no more. Essence
as
is
a
no
big
more.
spear.
The essence of everything is nothingness.
Yeah. And then we're going to recollect and become a new world again. Our soul will be the core of the new world.
That's a deep concept. I like that.
Yeah. And then we can evolve.
So that means our soul is already that.
Yeah.
That's already happened already.
Mm-hmm. That's happened already. I've seen that one before.
Right.
I've even seen shit like that on movies.
Right.
Yeah, where it should get destroyed and then
if it's in the collective conscious, it's a potentiality.
Yeah, it's a collective where we're all together.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the illusion of separation. We're under the illusion
and then all of a sudden, all of us, the ones that were in the know, we started doing some shit, and everybody woke up and shit. We just started attracting all this matter to us, and we became a new world. Yep. And I saw a new day.
Okay.
And from that point on, shit, let the world in. I don't give a fuck.
Man, that's the whole point, man. What's up? You telling me if they was to tell me, that's why I said the other so you're looking for this to go on for another 20 years? I'm like, hell the fuck no.
Yeah, that's what you said. You thought I was thinking. I said, shit, this motherfucker end tomorrow. I'll be glad. That way I don't have to figure this shit out no more.
Right.
Yeah. Should I be a weight lifted off of my fucking shoulders?
Right. See, but when it goes right down to it, oh, you're being insensitive. Oh, what about the destruction? And what about all the chaos? Yes, embrace it.
Guess what? We're going to start all over again. Consciousness do not end. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed or transmitted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Even you cannot, even if you so-called goodies that are out there fighting against evil, you're fighting a never-ending battle because, like I say, energy can't be destroyed. It can only be transformed or transferred.
Evil is nothing more than a manifestation of something that you don't face.
Evil is a necessary. Evil is something that's necessary.
No. That's what I'm saying. But what we're saying is evil is nothing more than a projection of our lower selves.
There's a
Nothing
divine
more.
evil. Shit, there's a
So
divine evil. You ever heard of Kali?
that's nothing more than a projection of a lower side of the cosmos of
But
the
no,
cosmos.
see, Kali, there's two sides of Kali. There's two sides of Kali. There's when she come down here, she's fucking hell on earth because she's fucking your ego up. See, when you see her with those three heads on this hand and three swords on this side, that's because she's fucked somebody's ego up. But in the higher worlds, she's a loving, nurturing mother.
Right.
Yeah, and
Right.
everything beautiful.
She's bringing destruction to a certain state, a lower vibrational state of thinking. That's the whole basis of the metaphor of what she's bringing an end to that state of consciousness. So that is what that represents. She represents ascending beyond physical. This is why it's so gory. You know what I'm saying? She got a head in one hand, and she about to cut another motherfucker's head off with her other hand and shit. So it's so gory because it's reprogramming and deprogramming your head from what you've been indoctrinated to. The Matrix.
Well, but that's some energy you want. You definitely want to stand with. That's some energy you want. You want the shit that's the most goriest, the most hideous, evilest, demonic, scariest shit. That's the shit you want to be rolling with. That's the energy you want to roll with.
Well, that's not only the energy that you want to roll with, that's the energy that you are. That's who you are.
Yeah, well, exactly.
That's
exactly.
Ultimately, who you actually are.
Yeah. So when someone look at my aura, I want them to see fucking dragons. I want them to see something very, very, very. Oh my God.
Unpleasing to someone who's orientated to matter and physical existence.
Oh yeah, I want them to be very. They're gonna look. They're gonna if they got that third eye open.
You orientated to 3-dimensional. That would be something that you want to avoid. That picture of Kali, you don't want to be a victim of Kali if you're orientated to physical reality like that. Like,
you want to stay the fuck away from that. You want to stay the fuck. You gonna get fucking beheaded.
Represent she's talking about a potentiality of energy.
Yeah.
That once it gets introduced to this world, it's like Pandora's box.
It just destroys everything. It destroys everything. It gets blood.
That is the basis of Pandora's box too.
I thought Pandora's box was a pussy.
Well, at the end of the day, the original concept behind Pandora's box is releasing this primal energy that totally destroys all of existence.
Oh, I thought it was the other way. I thought Pandora's box was a pussy, bringing that allowing souls to end up over here, trapped.
Oh, that's not what our research was. I thought it was like the Pandora box was a box that didn't want to be, that was encouraged not to be opened because it will totally destroy all of existence.
Okay.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I may be mistaken, but I thought that was the whole basis behind it. Is that's why they use that as a metaphor to open up Pandora's box.
Well, I guess Pandora's box could have many meanings, many different levels of meanings. I don't think it has just one meaning.
Right.
Which is what all astrology is pretty much built off of. It
Pandora's
has
box.
layers of meaning, not just one meaning. Some people, is cut and dry, yes or no, or it is and it isn't. But some things have more than just one meaning. On one level, it is, and on another level, it's not. It might seem like there's a contradiction. Oh well.
Okay, yeah, it says Pandora's box is an artifact in Greek mythology connected with the myth of Pandora and Herodotus' work and days. He reported this curiosity led to her to open the container left in the care of her husband, thus releasing physical and emotional curse upon mankind.
Yeah, to sound like her giving birth to children. And the box is her pussy.
Right, right.
Yeah,
If it's cursing
entrapment. So,
mankind, if it's cursing mankind, right? First,
yeah,
first
it
of all, you
caused,
gotta look at the listen to the word play. Mankind. First of all, they can't be talking about us.
yeah, that's true too.
They can't be talking about us.
Because they're talking about the kind of man.
Yes.
We're not the kind of man.
No.
Yeah, even though there are some counterfeits amongst us,
Oh,
but
of
even
course.
though they've been breaded in, they're part of us now too. You don't know who's who or what's what.
Well, they have entered the whole
Yeah, they're
genome.
part.
They've
But
entered the
then again,
genome.
some are gonna be what they are no matter what. The boule.
Hey, at the end of the day, like I said, these are nothing more than lower manifestations of self. That's all I look at
Yeah,
it as.
yeah, that's true. Because after one transcends, passes on, they become cognizant of way more, become more aware of things than they are aware of when they are here in the physical.
I mean, well, some do. Some still are in a state of purgatory when they leave the physical.
Well, some
Really,
some people just have to keep coming back here a couple of times before they're able to get the right body to get it right in.
mm, you think that has something to do with it?
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
because this is not an easy place.
Oh no, it's not meant to be easy. It's meant for you
Yeah,
to go through everything
yeah.
that
You're gonna, yeah, like,
you wouldn't even recognize, or your soul wouldn't even be able to evolve if it didn't go through the grotesqueness.
yeah. You ever seen that movie, The Edge of Tomorrow, with what's that white boy? Mission Impossible. The boy that played in Mission.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise, Edge of Tomorrow.
No, I never seen that before.
Well, it's about where our the aliens come, which are us, to kill the white man, and Tom Cruise get killed by this alien, but he
Mhm.
killed the alien too at the same time. But it was a special one, and what happened? Part of it got infused with him, so every time when he died, time went back to the day before. So every time when he died, he'll wake up the day before he died.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
So
fucked up.
he kept repeating the same thing. He was trying to go further and further and further and further, but he had to die so many times.
He figured it out and started setting himself
Yeah,
up to die.
yeah. And he started getting other people to help him. And you know, they know when things go wrong, they'll just shoot his ass in the head, so they all can go back to the next day.
Damn.
When shit, when shit start going wrong, they'll just shoot his ass.
That sounds like a movie I gotta watch. What is it called again?
The Edge of Tomorrow.
The Edge of Tomorrow. I'm gonna peep it out.
Yeah,
Keep it out.
yeah, that's us.
I was trying to call the homie who can explain the Bitcoin a little bit better than me. You know what I'm saying? He ain't answering his phone though, but
you gotta have him explain.
I was skeptical on the Bitcoin like a motherfucker too, though. I was very skeptical on the Bitcoin, right? And I'm still skeptical. I'm not just totally convinced like that, but I look at it as we can at least buy some, and regardless of it collapse or not, or somebody infiltrated, or the government start regulating or whatever.
Well, I think when they did that, I don't think they took in consideration of what the central banks can do. I don't think they really took in consideration of that. I think
they really have. That was the whole basis of why they created it, bro.
Well, so okay, maybe they have. Well, you know what? It's a war.
Because of the pansy schemes of the central bank, bro.
Well, you know what?
At that point.
Well, then they better be ready for war, because the central banks are going to war with their ass. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. They are very aware of this. Is the whole basis of why they created.
Well, then you know what?
They created this so tight niche that they've already considered all of those scenarios.
Well, they're gonna need our support. They're gonna need our support, because they got a hell of an adversary that they got to go up against. In fact, we want them to beat this adversary, because this adversary is our slave master. Whether you're rich, poor, or middle class, it don't make no difference. That's your slave master. Because that slave master can cut you off like that. Ask Russia, they'll tell you. They'll freeze your assets just like that. It don't matter how much you have, who you think you are.
But this is another reason we cannot be so dependent or having all of our eggs in one basket as it pertains to being totally immersed on the grid. We gotta start doing stuff off grid now, bro.
Well, then we have to become completely, absolutely, totally self-efficient, and that's kind of hard to do in a global society.
No, it's not. Technology has sprung us a long way in that respect now.
Yeah, but still, technology or not, we're in a global society. We're in a global economy. And so everything is interconnected. Everything. Not one particular area has all of the resources, almost except for fucking Russia. See, the one crazy thing about Russia, they got so much fucking land.
Texas is self-sustainable right now.
Yeah, but Russia is so many more times bigger than Texas.
No, Texas, I'm just saying. I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying. You're saying like unfathomable. Like we can't be self-sustainable. Like there's a lot of places that already are making decisions now to try to kind of disengage from the global bullshit.
Yeah, but see, that's almost impossible, because you're going to need something that is produced outside of your. You're going to need something that's produced outside of your economy. Okay, you're going to need something. You're going to have to trade. You're going to have to trade with someone. Okay. And if you're in a country,
there are plenty of people to trade with too. We don't have to trade on the grid that has already been established.
Yeah, that means you have to trade. You have to go underground, and you have to get past.
You realize that there are already underground. There are already underground economies. You know that, right?
Okay. Yeah. Well,
they operate right now. And they're operating totally under the grid.
Okay, well then
Off the grid.
you know what, you have to get to the point where you can become self-sustained, where you can become self-sustained, where you can become self-sustainable to where you can get off the grid and go into that and
Oh, that's
disappear.
very possible.
Yeah, that
There's
is possible. That is something
very
that
possible.
I would want to do. I want to become Mr. X and just
No,
disappear into the
no,
background.
that's the goal. The
Yeah,
goal is to become self-sustainable. What is the point of just having financial security if you can't utilize? That's why I don't know why you're trying to explain. Oh, we're using fiat to gain the rounds.
but I was saying taking that
I'm
fiat
very familiar. No,
currency
let me
to
finish. Let me finish.
purchase.
Let me finish. I'm
Okay.
very familiar with that because I have the same ideas. I have the
Mm-hmm.
same game plan. But
Okay.
my thing is, the whole goal is to eventually be self-sustainable, to be able to be the independent.
Don't you agree it's going to have to you're going to have to get some fiat currency to get it started first?
No, I don't. No, I got fiat currency and I'm working on.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that's
Okay. Yeah, you're going to
besides
need
the
some
point.
fiat currency.
You're not. You
You,
trying to act like you're making a point, and that's besides what I'm even talking about right now. Of
oh,
course, I
okay.
know you're gonna have to get fiat. Come on now. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to use
Okay.
fiat.
Then. All
You're
right.
saying,
Okay.
that as if I'm going against that. No, I know that.
Oh.
That's not my
Oh.
point.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Okay.
No, my
Because
point is
yeah,
the
just because you got to get it doesn't mean it's what I agree with you. Just because we need to get this to get where we got to go doesn't mean that this is what we really should be doing as a civilization. Okay.
listen. Just because we're exchanging this society, and I'm not going to go to the point where say I need fiat. I don't need fiat. This society is generated. I live in a society that
Mm-hmm.
runs off the fiat currency. So as a result, I use it as a mechanism to exchange. But
Yeah. Well, the
I'm
elite
not going
don't
to
use
ever be
fiat
motivated.
currency.
My point is, I'm never motivated by the fiat. I'm never
Yeah. Well, the
motivated
elite
by
don't
that.
use fiat
I'm
currency.
never in the sense of, oh, that is the solution. No, fiat is not the solution.
No. Well, it's a tool. It's a
I know
tool.
it's a tool, but it's not the solution.
But no, it's not the solution. No, because that
But
could be
that's what
cut
I'm
off.
saying.
That could be
We
cut
live in a
off.
society. We live in a society.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the mass majority of people think this is the answer. Fiat. Get a gang of fiat, and you'll solve all your problems. No, you're just started. When you get
No,
a, if you ask the average wealthy person, they don't have a gang of fiat. Sorry, they do not have a gang of fiat.
no, they got that shit in something. In
Exactly.
assets.
So my point is, our people are under the impression that if we get a gang of that, then that solves our problem, bro. That's why I'll keep saying that, bro. I'll keep
That can be taken
reiterating that.
away.
I'm trying to counter the programming right now. I'm countering the
Okay,
program.
well, okay, well, I agree with you.
This is why we get these shabby ass deals, because what they do is they put a gang of fiat in these rappers' face, and it ain't even just with the rap industry; it's with the all across the board. They offer you a gang of fiat to get you to give over your power, your rights through the contract, and
Well, shit.
now you're indebted. Now, see,
Yeah,
the thing about
now
it
they
is,
getting
none
that.
of us are thinking about the long term, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why not join forces with a group of people? Because the power really, the power of the currency, the energy of the currency is coming from the people.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
if you the real power is your ability to galvanize the people towards a certain goal.
Yeah, that's the real currency. That's real currency
So
right
once
there.
I'm mastering that, so that's
Okay.
what I'm dealing with.
Okay,
You know
well, then that's real currency.
right? So
Yeah.
the whole point is to get that energy to flowing in your for your potentialities.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real currency. The energy flowing in your potential for your manifestations, your what you want to come about.
Yeah, you have to.
That's the real
Yeah,
currency.
you have to use it as an artist use a painting you got to turn it into something valuable. Got to turn it into something worth that you can work with, that you can use to um, that you can use to extend your livelihood, and not just your livelihood, but bring value to the lives of everyone around you.
The only way you bring value to the other people around you is to get them to realize their power, their power within.
Well, and not
Once you
only
get them to
that,
realize
but
their power within, you can just step
mhm.
aside and watch them live up to their potential.
And yeah, and then once you get them to do that, and we start working together, we start masterminding together.
No, of course that if you at that level, of course that's eventually what you're going to come conclusions you're going to come to. This is
Mm-hmm.
why it's not a impose of this thing. It's not an imposing or trying to convince no one. It's strictly based on leading people to realize themselves or
Mm-hmm.
encouraging that realization within self.
Yeah. And then once they have that realization, um, now we can become an organization.
That's kind of somewhat my frustration because I try to impose my time schedule on the process, and it's not on your
Yeah.
time schedule. It's on divine time. And when I
Mm-hmm.
say my time schedule, I mean egotistically speaking. Like
Well, then we all
egotistically,
have that problem. That's part.
egotistically, I wanted it to happen immediately. I wanted it to happen now, right?
Yeah, that's because that's how humans are. That's how we. That's
Right.
how we function in this human experience.
But
I mean, we're not humans, but
once I realize it's not in my necessarily time, which I egotistically want to see come forth, I look at the greater picture and I'm like, it is happening. It's happening
yeah,
now. Right now, it's happening.
yeah,
It's,
just not in
it's
the
not,
way that
yes.
yeah, but the
Right.
experience
Right.
is coming in, how it's coming together and shit.
Right.
Yeah, I know things don't happen always the way that I want it, but then again, I see it happening anyway, though.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I see things on my end are gonna they're not happening the way I want them to happen, but they are happening. And not only that, they're gonna happen greater than what I want them to happen.
Right.
And it's not, it's me. I'm the one that's not on the same level of the greatness that I need to be
But
for
that's
that
exactly what I
that
was just talking about just now, about the realization, because how do you know what you want?
well, and not only that, you can know what you want and you can see it.
No, no,
But
no, 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 no,
scared,
no, no, no.
but it
I
take
know.
balls
Listen,
to
listen,
seize
listen,
it.
listen,
It
listen.
take balls to seize it,
You can
man.
know what you want for your desirable materialistic wants,
Yeah.
right? But what do
Mhm.
you really, really want, though?
Yeah. Well,
Ultimately,
see, yeah, you gotta ask that, because for what you just said, that shallow part, that's not enough to get you. That's not enough. That's not enough reason.
hell no.
Yeah, that's not
It's
enough
deeper than
reason.
that. I mean, of
It's
course,
deeper than that. Yeah,
that's probably part of the process.
it's part of the
Right.
process. That can only get you so far, but
Look.
to get past, you gonna need something deeper than that.
Don't get me fucked up, bro.
Mm-hmm.
One of my ritual is for us to be overwhelmingly wealthy, bro.
Yeah,
Overwhelmingly, like
overwhelmingly. So
Tony
yeah, where
Stark
we can,
type money. You know Tony Stark's in the DC comic, or is that Marvel? That's Marvel.
yeah,
Tony Stark's type money.
yeah.
We need
Mm-hmm.
to have that type of resource
Stupid,
or
dumb,
access
rich,
to.
where we can make shit happen. been.
Right.
Yeah, where
So don't get me fucked up to think because I'm not motivated by money like the rest of these people. That's all they think about. That's
well,
all
yeah,
their life is about.
but
No, I'm not motivated by money like that. I don't care about that.
but I'm motivated by progress, not
Yeah,
just my.
I'm motivated by I'm more motivated about sophisticated about us maturing as humanity to a point where a lot of stuff that we are caught up in is that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
We evolve beyond that point to where a lot of shit is unnecessary right now.
When
Like
we start letting go of the shit that we don't need and
yeah, so like
embracing the things
a
that
lot of
we
this
do
shit is
need.
very unnecessary, bro. Like, come on now.
Well, yeah, well, that's because we got some unnecessary motherfuckers making it that way. Right. And plus, but we're slowly coming out of it little by little. But there are going to be some events that take place where this shit's going to change in a hurry. Things are about to change in a hurry because not only
COVID,
huh?
COVID is one of the events that changed this
No,
shit.
COVID was the COVID was just an appetizer to get us in order, get us ready, to get us in line and ready, and get so we and get us to pay attention.
At this point, it was a false attempt. You know that, right? They did not succeed.
No, it did not succeed. Well, it did succeed. It did succeed. It succeed.
It exceeded in the sense of they was able to play off our fears for a little bit.
No, it succeeded in every way they wanted. They didn't need. They didn't want.
No. The vaccinations were down. No, they wanted people to be so afraid that they will overwhelmingly go get that vaccination. No, it was down.
And they were.
No, they were no. There was
but
not.
there was resistance.
They got it. They got people. They got some people. But
got people.
The numbers was down, bro. They didn't get nowhere near the numbers they was expecting of people to get that vaccination, bro. And that's what the whole argument was that they tried to play. See, I see these attempts to try to demonize.
Okay, yeah, but okay, but let's get past that.
I seen the attempt to try to demonize those who didn't get the vaccination and it didn't work. I seen the attempts of them trying to push this mandatory to try to pump the rest of the states. The federal government was trying to pump the rest of the states by saying, "Oh, if you don't pass this mandatory vaccination, then we're gonna hold back allocations of funds, federal funds, or whatever." That was a basically trying to basically punk them.
Yeah,
it didn't work. It didn't work. I'm telling you all the stuff that they tried to implement with this shit, and it didn't work. The mandatory didn't work. Their plans for a big number of people to get that pokey didn't work.
To the point but you know what? But you know what worked? But you know what did work? You know what did work? That mask. The mask.
The mask was just psychological. That was a psychological warfare.
But you're right. Psychological. That meant that's all they needed to get you psychologically. If they got one little thing on you psychologically, then when they do the next thing, the next event, they got something. They got you. They can work with. They got something to work with.
Guess what?
What?
They can use that, right? But the general public has already seen through their bullshit. Ever since 9/11, listen, stop it. Ever since 9/11, the general public has questioned the bullshit, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 9/11.
They will not have the same grip on the mind of the people that they had prior to 9/11, bro.
Yeah, Desert
came out after that.
Now they had us in Desert Storm.
That was prior to 9/11. Yeah, that was
I told you
that
in
was before 9/11.
1991, 92 is when this shit
Yeah, that
started
was before
jumping off.
9/11. That was a story before 9/11 though.
Yeah, that was 91, 92. What I
Right.
was telling you about. That's when the shit started jumping off. That's when we started invading other people's countries. We see in the 80s, we weren't invading people countries and
Yes, they were. Yes,
occupying.
they were. They was doing it. They was doing it covertly though. They wasn't doing it
They
overtly.
but they weren't doing it on a big global scale,
Yeah, they
like
wasn't doing it on
where
a
they
big
had
scale.
allies with.
But you know
Well,
what? They started doing it on a big global scale after the NASA deal. If you realize that what happened with
no at 90 no, they started doing it with
NASA,
with
not NASA.
nine.
What's the name of that international body? The international body of all these countries. NATO.
Oh, NATO.
Yeah.
Well, NATO was there for the Cold War. All right.
Mm-hmm.
NATO was there for the Russians. And then when the Cold War was over, there was no more need for NATO. But NATO stuck around anyway.
Intent. That was not the original intent that NATO was created for, bro. It was more than mass. It was more than just Russia. The NATO was
okay, but that's what they brought it. But that was the narrative. Okay.
Yeah, that was the justification at the time.
Yeah, but in the end, we found differently. We saw differently because NATO didn't disassemble itself after the Cold War. It didn't go away or turn into something else. It stuck around, and it's been poking it a stick in the bear. The bear is Russia.
But that just the fact that it stuck around, which means that they gave us the wrong impressions of what the whole intentions of it was for in the first place.
Well, because that's the nature of our government anyway. There's never been a temporary program. There's no such thing as a temporary government program. Okay?
Right.
Yeah, they become a temporary government program is something permanent. Anything they say is temporary.
Any government, any program from a authoritarian government is more control. It's more control.
Well, shit. Well, this is the best one. It's posing as a democracy, republic, freedom, and all that with a constitution, a bill of rights, and all that shit. And it's the most dictatorial. It's every last one of them. I don't think it's not any. There isn't that this country isn't.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's communist, socialist,
libertarian.
It's everything.
Socialist.
Yeah, you get it all here. Right. You don't get just one. You get the whole goddamn enchilada at this motherfucker. Whatever you want. Communism, socialism, capitalism, whatever ism, you can get. They got an ism from A to Z.
Yeah.
Shit, this is the land of isms. Okay?
Right.
Yeah.
Shit. While you saying that, y'all can subscribe. Y'all can go subscribe and share these videos. Subscribe to Sternism Production.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is broadcast on Sternism Productions.
Yes, it is. Go back and listen to all our podcasts. Yeah, they'll surprise the hell out of you.
Matter of fact, that's a celebration. I just reached my 100th subscriber recently.
Oh, okay.
I mean, compared to all the other sites, I mean that's nothing. But I mean that's a celebration to me. Shit.
Well, that means we're not playing some. We're not showing some stupid shit. Now we're playing stupid shit. We have a million fucking
all type of fucking lists.
Yeah. Right. I don't want them people listening to me. I mean, I wish. I mean, I take that back.
I mean, they can tune in, but
Yeah,
we're not catering to those people. Is what you want to say.
yeah, we're not catering.
We're
Yeah.
not catering to
Now, those people were on the same wavelength. Shit, we had that many listening to us. Hell yeah, shit. Because them, shit, we shit ain't no stopping us now.
They can tune in all they want, but we not dumbing our shit down. Don't come in here with that Christian mindset. You understand me?
You know, you come in here with this Christian mindset. I'm gonna tell you something. This
Religion
our
mindset.
shit is evil. Okay, this shit, our shit to you is evil. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you ain't gonna tune in anyway. You gonna automatically condemn us and say them boys need Jesus.
Oh, they demonic.
I'll be like, guess what? I am Jesus.
I am Satan, motherfucker.
Right.
I am Lucifer.
Jesus is Lucifer. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't get it.
Yeah. Shit. I am Lucifer, and I have my minions of demons and angels too. Yeah, and government, our government, they know about cycles, they know about our magic too. It don't work for them. They use us for a battery to activate our magic on us.
The stuff that we're saying is counter to the reality that they're programming us into. So Absolutely. Of course they're gonna inundate us to the side and be like, oh, that's just some pseudo and don't
bullshit. Yeah, I know. Yeah, don't pay attention to us.
Everything we're saying will totally collapse your whole programming, your whole matrix.
Yeah.
Your shit collapses
so you can,
over here.
Yeah, you can pseudoscience us to death.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So they're gonna relegate us to the smallest. Oh, they ain't nothing. Don't worry about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, they said we'll freeze this fucking check. we'll freeze their banking account.
That's why I don't got no damn banking account.
You right about that.
Fuck that
shit.
Bank. I ain't gonna lie. I fuck with the bank since I was like 20-something years old, bro. I'm 47 years old now.
That's smart.
Bank. Fuck that bank. Why? Because I've been disappointed by their ass too many times where I had thousands in that motherfucker. And like that last collapse, 2008, they said you couldn't get your money back.
And the bank took your money? What were you in Washington Mutual? Was it Washington Mutual by any chance?
It was no, it wasn't Washington Mutual. It was Bank of America.
B of A?
Yeah.
How the fuck B of A? They didn't implode.
Bank of America. Bank of America. As a matter of fact, it wasn't Bank of America. It was Wells Fargo.
Well, shit, I'm with Wells Fargo. They bailed in on your money. They bailed in
on America prior to Wells Fargo. So yeah, Wells Fargo. But this was around the time that they was doing that whole the banks can't be
the banks were imploding. That was in 08, 06, 07, 08.
Right. They said the banks are too big to fail or type shit.
They were too big to fail. Wells Fargo, they had some problems back then. I remember.
Right. So
yeah,
they wouldn't allow us to do our money. I haven't seen my money since then though.
Really?
No.
Oh fuck. They kind of got us where they want us, man.
But that's why I never put no money in the bank no more though.
Yeah, well
But I'm
motherfuckers.
I'm expanding to where I might have to have some money in the bank, but
you're gonna have to use. You're gonna to be functional in this.
Not to have any type of, but to use the bank because a lot of institutions, a lot of companies, they don't deal with you unless you got a bank account. So that's the main reason why.
Yeah, you have no choice but to do that. You kind of got to play along with the game.
If you're doing a lot of online things, they would like to do it with your bank, not debit card and stuff like that. So
Oh
after
yeah.
I might have to get a bank account or whatever. But I wouldn't. I will only do it just to make those transactions, not just to save real big amounts of money in that.
Well, I'm gonna do my magic, and I guarantee. I put it to you this way: these motherfuckers fuck with my shit. They shit getting fucked with too.
Right.
Okay, you fuck with my shit, your motherfucking beloved economy. Kiss that bitch goodbye.
Kiss that bitch. Kiss that bitch goodbye.
Yeah.
I curse your
Kiss
ass.
that bitch goodbye. Because the forces of nature, I will dictate the forces of nature in a cosmic way to where they will fuck this bitch up. And there won't be no fucking economy working. There won't be no motherfucking commerce working. Like, Glenn Ford can't do this, but the all can. I'm connected with shit. The higher self is connected with the all, and through the power of the all, it can be done. So that's my warning to them. Just let the nigga do what he got to do, and y'all can do what y'all got to do.
Right.
Don't fuck with me. I won't fuck with y'all. Well, I'm gonna fuck with y'all.
Leave me the fuck alone. I'll leave you the fuck alone.
Yeah. I'll kill you gradually. It won't happen overnight, okay? I promise you. Your death won't be. It will be slow.
You'll forget you was cursed.
Yeah. You want to die suddenly? Because, like I say, our melon has come to a point.
What's the fun in that? There's cursing somebody cursing the system, my bad. Cursing the system and it dying immediately. No, you wanted to have a slow, a slow, gruesome ass death.
Yeah, slow, unmerciful death.
A struggle death, like
suffering, succotash. Please take me out of my miseries. It'd be that fucking horse looking up at you with them beady eyes. Please take me out of my misery. Please shoot me.
Or you feel pity for it.
Yeah, I said nope. Please put it right here. Nope. I'm gonna dance on you.
You start singing that song by Flavor Flav. I can't do nothing for you, man. He's got problems of his own.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't do nothing for you.
Can't do nothing for you, man. You brought this on your own self. Shit. Right. Yeah. I mean, their time is up anyway.
At this point now, they all the curses out on this shit. This shit is that's why this shit happening now, man. I've been cursing this shit for 20 years now.
I know, man. A lot of this shit. Ooh, shit. I remember one time I got so pissed off one night, and it was during the fire season. I said, I want fucking Bel Air to catch on fire. And I did a ritual, and the next day, Bel Air caught on fire, man.
Damn. Right.
I'm not. I mean, the magic does work. It does work.
Yeah, you can just inadvertently do some shit, and you didn't put some shit out, and some shit didn't happen on the other side of the planet. You're just not even aware of the shit.
Well, you can go into the astral world and fuck a motherfucker up in the astral world, and that shit will happen in the real world.
No doubt. That is the real world.
Yeah, you can go up there and do some spiritual work, man, and
The
fuck up
real
their
world
energy.
is magic.
Yeah,
If you're not doing real world, you're not engaging in the real world. You're not
you
doing
gotta
magic.
see. I engage in the higher worlds and trickle it down into the lower worlds. And so I don't really trip too much off of the physical world because the physical world gonna do what it want to do. But I know in the long run, the energy that I'm projecting here is having it, it's affecting this, and boom, boom, boom. I'm just one person, or it's not my personality. Well, personality it is that's the slave. I'm using that as the slave to help me implement all of this.
I think that personality is just like a conduit to a whole other higher energies. Just like
Yeah,
when you
it
do an
works for
altar,
Yoshida.
just like when you
It
do an
works for the
altar,
divine spark.
right? It's like an altar. Like we use it as our altar to interact with our higher aspects of self.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
we
saying?
have
Like
to
when you do
use
an
that
altar,
for that.
when you set an altar in, all those objects you put in your altar are just
Hmm.
correspondence. They're correspondence. You know what I'm saying?
I,
To
I made a lot of the things I put on my altar.
right, right,
Yeah,
right.
so it has a lot of my energy in it. But the energy when I know my energy is strong because I make a lot of the shit.
Look, anybody making an altar based on some traditional way, somebody told you make it like this, put this in, then that's wrong. An
You well,
altar is supposed to
you're
be
not allowing your real creative energy to flow.
yes, an altar is supposed to be strictly made off of your
Creative
corresponding
to your
everything that
creative
you
energy.
you resonate with to correspond with higher entities on higher planes,
Yeah, you got to
higher
make that
higher
magic
aspects of
circle. You got to make that magic circle with that pentagon. But you got
right,
to have that pentagon with the magic circle in there. Then you assign your entities that you want,
right. But
and
you got
within
to be
that
in
circle.
you got to be in tune with your higher self because a lot of times you will tell yourself what you want to put there. You're gonna tell yourself, you're gonna be like, okay, this is corresponding with this aspect of myself. So you know what I'm saying? Because you're really trying to have a communication with higher aspects of self that
Well,
are going to
sometimes
help
you just got
you.
to let
That's
go
going to help
and
you.
just let the higher self flow because it knows, and lower self don't know what the higher self know.
Right. Sometimes don't even think about it.
Yeah, you can't just let that shit let it flow. I do that in rituals, and that shit flows, man. I'm like, oh, where the fuck did that come from?
Listen, when you get to a point where you're doing shit and you don't remember you did it, it just does
Yep.
it done it subconsciously, then you connect
Hmm.
with the higher spiritual self.
Yeah, I can say these words in my ritual. I know them by heart when I'm doing them in the ritual, but if I try to say them outside of the ritual, I can't remember that shit.
Right, because you created an energy.
Yeah.
You mentioned that's a whole nother world now. You creating world.
Hey, I'm in a whole nother world. I'm in the side of that circle. And within that circle, that magic circle, shit, whatever I want to go goes.
I
Now I
mean,
can't use my energy to to
inside of that circle is the whole universe and the whole existence. All of existence is
yeah,
in that circle.
yeah, but see, I know I can't use that energy to try to force force it upon someone else's will or anything like that. No. This energy is all based on my eternity. Now, within my eternity, I can, if that person's spirit is willing, shit, we can do everything.
Check this out. You gave me a good ass idea on. We should do this a strictly show on going over past events and really deciphering what actually happened, like you did with the the Russia issue in the 88 in the 80s, and
98.
Right. Like a lot
Yeah.
of people misinterpreted a lot of those events. What
Oh,
really
they're
was
interconnected, man. See,
right.
I knew when the tech bubble burst, how
Yeah.
of the whole mechanism behind it. I
Uh,
said, "Oh fuck, man, this is what happened. This is how the markets responded." I said, "Shit, I can't wait when the next one happened." So I spent the next few years preparing for the next big event
right.
by watching what happened when the Fed heightened up on interest rates, and then you wait for the yield curve to become inverted. And shit, when that yield curve got inverted, I put all my clients in those 90-day euro dollars. I was buying them motherfuckers 2 years out. Man, them short-term interest rates when the yield curve became inverted and the fucking economy cracked, them motherfuckers, man, my clients were making 2,000 motherfucking percent a year with my ass.
Right.
And I'm doing this, and and now I'm doing this and making a commission. Now, if I was really, really trying to trade for my clients, I would have made my clients 10,000 fucking percent. And during the 2008,
Right.
that's why they got rid of my ass.
You are privy to the the aspect of the economy.
Yeah, and
That
then not
most
only that,
people
I was
let me finish,
willing to pay the price.
let me finish.
Okay,
You
my
are
bad.
privy to aspects of the economy that rich people use, that they knowledge that rich people know on to utilize ups and downs, regardless of where the economy is. They can utilize and then take advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, so this is exactly why these people really don't worry about, like, if you had a certain economic bracket,
Mm-hmm.
you're not worried about an economy falling. You thrive in
No,
that.
no. When I was a commodity broker, shit, when the economy was cracking in '08, I was making so much fucking money. I didn't give a fuck. Only thing I really cared about was that I wasn't making what I really should have been making, because the company prior to that fucked me with the NFA by allowing my license to become tainted, when at a time when, after I spent all this time, I paid the price, man. I was out there in
But you see
early
how that foresight.
2006.
You see how that
Yeah, I
foresight.
had the foresight. I was able
That
to look at the
thinking, that
charts.
thinking process is rare. This is not a lot of people think like that. So
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
consider that in the equation of why humanity, or why everyone who's a victim of these things they're not privy to the concepts, the ideas.
No, they're not. No, what I know, man, is the knowledge and the experience that I have is priceless, man. In this lifetime, for me, it's priceless. Now, I could, if I would have been on a totally different wavelength, if I wouldn't have been fucked up on drugs and shit, living like a party like a rock star, if I would have been really serious, I would be a billionaire right now. I'd be one of the wealthiest black men on the planet. And I don't know. Well, I was conscious then, but I wasn't at this level yet, but I was at a high level, but I didn't know our knowledge, our history, but I was conscious though, but I didn't know our story. And because I didn't know our story, I didn't know myself, I would have probably destroyed myself. So I had to fall. I had to fall hard. Because if I didn't, I was going to destroy myself.
Do you know that we destroy aspects of ourselves constantly?
Probably so.
No, it ain't probably. How can we
Definitely.
discover new aspects of ourselves if we don't destroy
Old
other
aspects.
aspects of ourselves?
Yeah, you got a
In
point
order to
there.
discover aspects of of higher aspects of ourselves, we got to destroy we got to destroy aspects of other aspects of ourselves.
Yeah.
This is
And
a
you got to
building
be
destroy.
willing.
That's inevitable. This is the order and chaos of the universe. You can't
Yeah,
you can't
that's
escape it.
true. You can't escape that. Yeah, I'm all man. I've been doing a lot of destroying and shit, but man, when the shit works, when it all comes together, I know it's that. I know it's that like, oh man, that feeling is so wonderful when you work real hard, you suffer. I was homeless, man, I lived in my fucking car for a weekend during the Martin Luther King birthday weekend, 2006. I was homeless that weekend, and I was in a hotel parking lot in my car. It couldn't work, didn't have no gas, and I just came up with this magnificent plan to make all this money for myself and for my clients in the next big economic crash. And I knew what market to be in, and I just implemented that plan. And then that Tuesday morning after Martin Luther King, I went to my boss. I fucking closed his ass. He got me a hotel room, and, and I just started making money right away.
All those experiences is bigger when you look at it from the spiritual eye. If we looking at it from our materialistic eye, we're looking at it from a lower aspect of ourselves. We get caught up in the low self-esteem, we ain't confident of ourselves, but when you looking at it from the spiritual eye, you like damn, you were supposed to go through this. You can't ever realize yourself in the highest aspects of yourself if you didn't go through some shit.
Let me tell you, I went through some lows.
The brother Rashamir wanted to come in the conversation too.
Oh, okay, come on, brother. Come on, brother.
All right, hold on. Let me.
All right, your volume is low. I can barely hear you.
I'll put him on speaker now. You can go ahead.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, man. I love the conversation y'all having and all that. I believe, I just want to add on to that. I feel like it's the new born again. Seriously, that's what it means by born again. Like, you have to go through travesty to rebuild yourself, build your frequency and energy. A lot of people we cut off during during the years because they was bad for our health. They energy vampires. You know what I'm saying? And all that, and you have to revamp your circle.
Yeah. Look, my circle was so small, bro, that I can't even consider it a circle. I guess it is a circle. It's so small. It's so damn small because really, at the end, why my circle so small? It ain't that I'm just not a friendly person. I got a network of business people associated that I would fuck with as large as hell. But the reason why my circle is so small is because everybody can't take the truth like at the level I'm willing to speak the truth of.
Yeah.
They're not willing to take it like I'm telling, and I'm not about to compromise it. I'm not about to be on a mundane talk about smaller truth that are comfortable with you. No, I'm gonna speak on some high power ass truth. Like, look at what are these lines they spray in the sky, y'all? That's why I ask questions like that to people. Like, what are the lines? Why are they spraying those lines in the sky?
What about the lines they spray in the sky and they have shadows?
They have to start thinking about it like, damn, this nigga got me thinking. I ain't fucking with that nigga. I'm like,
no,
good.
It's the times they do it in the directions. They're always covering the sun at certain times. They're always gonna have a fucking chemtrail certain times right in the path of the sun.
Yeah, it seems like they trying to block the path of the sun.
No, there's something else circling. Remember, we talk about those spears circling the sun?
Yes.
And you remember when I sent you that picture? Remember when I sent you that picture and it was all clouded and they were purple and burgundy and all different colors and blue and shit? Right. Yeah, that was one of those times.
And not only that, they do stuff like that when they show images of different things that's in front of the sun, like
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's all I know. I'm just adding on to that.
Right.
Just pyramid ships and all that.
Yeah.
What I notice is every time we have a solar flare or something like that, our electronics start acting up and acting wild and crazy and
right.
stuff.
Speaking of solar flare, we had one right before that earthquake in Japan. That's 7.3.
Yeah,
it was a solar
in Japan recently. But those solar flares are going to interrupt technology because electromagnetic energy is how the electric grid is built off that electromagnetic energy.
Yeah, it's a CME. It's like an electric EMP. But see, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. See, now we got these spheres. I've seen videos where they shown the orbit of this thing around the sun. It's counterclockwise. It's a 27-day or 28-day orbit. And we're coming in the period of the year where we're coming around the sun and we're going to be more exposed to this thing. And right. When we're more exposed to it, that's the time of the year, like from April to November is when we're going to have a whole lot of calamities on the earth, a lot of tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, all kind of crazy shit from April to November, actually December, because in last December, we had them big ass tornadoes in Kentucky that completely wiped that whole city out. That's because of these spheres out there. And now, and that, and you know, in 2018, 2019, we were in the grand solar minimum, and we were having bad storms and bad solar flares then. Now we're in the grand solar maximum.
This literally got me thinking that the whole weather control is just a distraction to distract us from the fact that there are real extreme things happening on a higher level on this planet.
Higher than that.
That they can't even explain it, so they're going to try to make us believe that they're doing it. They're doing all this. No, there's something higher that y'all is behind y'all that's happening. That, you know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to make us believe it's y'all so we can just calm it down a little bit. But no, it's something bigger happening on this planet that they can't even control it. They have no control over it.
And then not to mention, you know, the Milky Way, the center of the Milky Way is pulsating. It's pulsating light towards our direction. It's like a purplish, pinkish light that's flashing at miles per hour at our planet and stuff. And also it can like change your DNA and all that. All these
the light that coming, the cosmic light that's bombarding us
from the galactic center.
You know how they talk about it in comic books, bro.
Yeah.
Then they try to make it seem like it's just some comic book science, pseudoscience. No, fucking light literally enters your DNA and it changes your DNA. This is why they're trying to poke you to change your DNA so that they can be having an in DNA that's already poked. So when the light that's coming and bombarding us right now, we have to realize the point of the cycle. The cycle is when we in a particular point in the cosmos, we're getting introduced to lights that we had never been introduced to in like hundreds of thousands of millions. No, I would say 25,000 years ago. We hadn't been exposed to this light right here.
It takes us 200 and it takes us 200. It takes us 220 plus million years to go around the entire Milky Way.
Right.
220 plus million years, and we've been around it 20 times already.
Right.
So who knows the history of that 200
the intensity, that winding. We don't understand that winding. That's a winding, just like a sister. She whine her ass and shit. That intensity gets you want to do some shit, right?
Yes.
That's the same intensity that the winding of the universe is. All those years, like you said, millions of years of that winding. What the hell you think about to come out of that? What? That motherfucker been gyrating for years.
Yep. Yeah, what's been cooking in this motherfucking galaxy? What's big cooking in this pot?
Right.
Also, too,
Yeah.
what I've noticed is that every time we have solar flares and all that, people on this planet start spontaneous combustion.
Well,
Talk about that.
well, for the next 5.5 years, that shit's going to be off the hook with this grand solar minimum and these spirits out there, which I think we have spiritual connection to. Okay, I think we brought them here spiritually ourselves to bring change here, and I think over the next 5 years, we can use this energy to change this motherfucking planet.
Yeah, these things that come here is going to assist us, bro.
Yeah,
They can assist us.
and they're going to assist us to the next dimensions, everything.
Go ahead.
It's almost like it's something out there that's deleting the defaults. It's deleting stuff that don't belong in a hologram.
It's called the Great Correction. The Great Correction.
Right. It's like it's deleting and correcting itself.
Yeah, it's correcting itself.
It's like they try to reset it before the universe resets itself.
But think about this. Think about this though. That program is just as old as many times we went around that goddamn cycle. Woo! Imagine that.
They can't stop this shit.
That program. That's an
Yeah.
ancient program. We think the Matrix is something new. Oh no. The Matrix is old as fuck.
This is just one of the shapes of the Matrix. Probably had many different forms. Probably been destroyed over and over and reformed, destroyed and reformed, and destroyed and reformed.
Yeah, I mean they was telling us that on the new Matrix, right? They was you look at the new Matrix, that's exactly what they were talking about. Boy, I'm telling you, this shit crazy, bro. It's like
it's like we're in an alternate grid.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like an alternate grid.
But guess what?
Mandela effect.
Listen,
all that stuff. It's like we're in an alternate grid.
Where is the controlling mechanism? Where is it at? Where's the controlling mechanism? Yes, our own minds is the controlling mechanism for the Matrix.
Yeah, because inside
we're creating this.
Yeah, the mind is not. Yeah, the mind is not a terrible thing to waste. It's a terrible thing to use. They want you to waste that motherfucker. They don't want you using this motherfucker. It's too goddamn powerful.
As we speak.
You ain't no leaving the planet. That's if you talking about leaving the planet, that's if you don't get it. You can't leave nothing that don't exist.
They don't know that.
Yeah.
How you gonna leave? You just go. Where you gonna go?
Where you gonna go?
No.
In the nothingness? No. They're gonna go into the nothingness.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Egyptians. They thought they could take the gold with them. You know, they thought they could die and take the gold with them, the rubies, the diamonds, and all that. They think they're gonna take it with them. It's everywhere. Where you gonna go? You gonna run to Mars? You gonna run to all these dead destroyed planets that was, destroyed by cosmic wars and all that, galactic wars? That they refuse to teach our schools and our people in. Like, a lot of this shit is gonna shock people to the core, to the point where a lot of people gonna die with their eyes open because they're gonna be so terrified and shocked. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna go to purgatory. They're gonna go to purgatory. They're gonna immediately go to purgatory.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see, which planes?
Right, because purgatory just mean they in between. They don't know where they don't understand shit, so they just get caught in between. They're like, oh shit, what the fuck?
But there's 7 subplanes. 7 subplanes. Yeah. 7 subplanes. 7
subplanes. Yes.
Okay.
So you either
they got it,
and that's why in purgatory, it's like you in limbo. You in legal. It's like legal limbo. Is most of these people in legal limbo, where you don't know where you stand and your status and shit. So you can get dragged down to those subplanes easily and get lost.
Yeah.
It's called the abyss.
The first thing they're gonna say is, what is going on? What is happening? That's their favorite word when they don't understand something. You know what I'm saying? What is happening? What is going on?
However, the sixth subplane is very beautiful. Very beautiful colors, beautiful music, very loving. It's like heaven. Okay. But but it's still the sixth subplane. It's not, it's still only an illusion. It's
an
not
illusion of an illusion. What do you mean?
Mhm.
Of an illusion of an illusion.
There is an even greater illusion than that.
Yes. It's Inception 2.0 or 6.0. Because you said the sixth subplane.
They call it Diva Chan. And then there's something even greater than Diva Chan, Nirvana. And then there's something even greater than that. I don't know what the fuck that is.
You talking about the higher planes.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's where you want to get to.
On the lower planes. Like,
well,
on the lower planes is literally you're not realizing yourself. Not realizing. If you don't realize yourself,
you got to keep coming back, repeating this human.
Deeper, lower aspects of yourself. You come back, you're going to come back and do this shit again as a result. But what happens is when you don't realize, you just sink to different, it's like what they call a sinking place. The sunken place. And the sunken place ain't nothing more than you're caught into this illusion so much that it overwhelms you. You get sucked into it.
Yeah, you're
sucked into it.
Yeah, your incarnating soul.
That's how they become a bot.
Yes, that's why they are a bot. Because that's why they are a bot, because they're sunken in deeper aspects of themselves right now.
It's what the brother said, suspended animation.
Right.
Suspended animation.
Put it like this. They not at the driving seat. They're not at the driving seat.
They're in suspended mental animation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Suspended mental and spiritual animation.
Mental what you said? Suspended. Say it again.
Suspended mental and spiritual animation.
Wow.
Yeah, because when they hear conversations like this, the first thing that come out their mouth is interesting. You know what I'm saying? That's good. You know, because they far from the idealisms of what they've been taught.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
immediately, we're challenging what they've been convinced is real.
Right. Well, they've been watching some of the movies and shows that are out now. Their mind,
movies and shows, so they can just dismiss it as entertainment.
Yeah, they have entertainment.
You know what I'm saying?
But they still. But some of them still got to wonder: what are they referencing this shit from?
Listen, my thing is, if they did any real research and in-depth research, the shows that you watching, right? They're not doing nothing but pulling from higher planes of reality to come up with their ideas, and they're pulling from old cosmology too.
Yeah, and then not only that, like the movie Predator was written by ex-Navy SEAL. He said 82% of the movie is true.
Yes, these people. No, that's another aspect of it. A lot of screenplay writers are ex-agents of the United States government. Period. Mm-hmm. They retired and became a screen and start writing all the shit they experienced.
Yeah, I remember seeing a documentary that talked about that.
You feel me? A lot of they have become screenplay writers, bro.
Especially during the Cold War. Think about how many anti-Russian movies that came out. Rocky, Red Dawn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get to my next show though, y'all. But this is a very good conversation. We come back to this next week.
Yeah.
And I want to do that concept I was talking about where we go over all past events and shit. You know what I'm saying? So we just not
because they're kind of repeating themselves.
We come up with topics and shit and just come up with some shit on how to organize some ideas around these concepts.
Yeah, people need to know how to maneuver through this shit because we're past
about the subplanes. If you don't understand, you're gonna sink to the sub realms of yourself and not realize yourself in higher aspects. right? Then we are ascending to higher levels of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And you don't realize that anything can come along and sweep you this way or sweep you that way. You know what I'm saying? That's why they say that what the devil came for to see coming true and forth to see who he can devour, who he can devour. That's I'm not reading subliminally what that's saying. That's me. That's you. That's aspects of yourself. You talking about yourself. You are the devil. You are God. You understand me? If you recognize that, then you manifest that. You realize that, and you say, okay, I'm not on neither side. I'm just an aspect of someone who can balance that within myself. Those energies.
Yeah, but then there's down here. There's an aspect of God that's gone wild, called the demiurge.
If you caught up in the spookiness of it, you will never get the science of it, because really, God and the devil are just aspects of your energy that you can utilize. And guess what? You cannot do nothing without positive and negative. You can't do nothing without either. Both are significant. Neither one is insignificant than the other.
Oh yeah, So, I mean,
at the end of the day, we like to say, "Oh yeah, God defeats the devil," right? That's just that's just a alchemic, a spiritual alchemic metaphor.
Well, they're not talking about this world, because ain't no God defeating no devil in this world right now.
Right. Damn, that's a good point. God ain't defeat the devil yet here yet. He ain't
beat the devil and shit in this motherfucker.
The devil been ruling over this motherfucker.
Infiltrated through everything.
Wow. The same people, guess what? The same institutions are in tune with the damn devil, the beast itself, that's teaching you to fight against, it's against the God coming against. The same institution is in tune with the devil. Pitchfork. In tune with the devil pitchfork.
Well, see, God might have made the world, but the devil took it in.
They're showing it now. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, they have a bill that they trying to pass in Missouri called the 666 bill. You know, and these people in Arkansas brought out the Baphomet statue and set it in front of the city council building, and you know what I'm saying, and all that stuff. So I said, okay, so now they're getting pride about who they really are. Because I think it's about that time where they really gonna show you who they been worshiping behind closed doors.
Right. Well, come on, the devil is still too divine for them. Okay. The devil. All right. Damn. The devil's too divine for them.
I gotta go, bro.
Okay, man.
He on some other shit right there. That was it right there, though. Yeah, for real. For real. You're right. But I gotta go, though. I gotta go.
All right, man.
I gotta go. I gotta get the other show going.
Thanks for stopping by, bro.
All right, y'all.
All right, good night, folks.
Hey. You still there?